Hello my fellow hunters and One Piece players. I have updated my Boa deck and I will be showing off my new list. So let's jump right into the deck list. So to begin the deck list, we start with 2 of yellow Gloriosa. So this is pretty much a staple for yellow Boa. It's essentially a Hiyori, and this is really good to use going either first or second, because you add 1 card on top of your life or bottom and then switch it with another card. So you can set up your life doing this. We only play 2 because we only need 2. And then we play 4 of Hiyori, which is a staple in the deck. And it's a 2k counter, which is really good. So essentially we are playing 6 copies of Hiyori, because we've got these 4 and then we got the Gloriosa. But these are pretty much standard for Boa. So 4 of Hiyori. And then we play 4 of yellow Marguerite, which is your standard searcher for the deck. The problem is with this card, it doesn't have counter, but you really play this for its trigger, which is when we play a card from life, we draw a card from our leader effect. And this searches top 5, but you have to discard 1. So ideally you want to play this on your 3 dawn turn or play it from your life. But yeah, 4 of Marguerite. And then we play 4 of Ran, which is one of the best cards in this deck. Activate main, give one of your Kouzuki pirates or your leader 1 dawn. This pretty much makes our leader effect live most of the time, so this must have at 4. It's pretty much a staple. I did not mean to move the leader. Just give me 1 second, move it back. Come on, camera, focus. And then we play 4 of 4-cost blocker Boa from Star Deck 17, which is another staple for this deck. Essentially, look at top 3 of your deck and then place them back in any order on the top or the bottom of your deck, and then your leader gets 1 rested dawn. So this also makes our leader effect live, because when our leader has got 1 dawn attached, any character that is Kouzuki pirates or Amazonelli gets KO'd, your opponent takes a life. So you ideally want to try and keep 1 dawn under her most of the time, but this is a 4 of. And then we play 2 of 4-cost yellow Zoro from Op15. So I've been messing around with the ratios for this card because I can't decide either to run 4 or 2, but I decided to go with 2 mainly because it's a brick. The main thing is you can trash 1 card then gain a life card on top of your life, which is good because Boa can die easily, so we ideally want to stay on as much life as we can, especially in the late game. And this unbricks your hand as well, especially if you've got like 2 or 3 9-costs in hand. This can help you unbrick. It's pretty much a staple yellow card, like most yellow decks run this. And then we play 4 of yellow Eb04 nami. So this is pretty much a staple for Boa, mainly because this burns life, which is what our leader does. So give up to 1 rested dawn to your leader, and then your opponent takes a life when they have 3 or more life. So this is really good. And also, when this thing gets KO'd, you may turn 1 card from top of your life cards face up, then play up to 1 character with 6,000 power or less from your hand. So if this gets KO'd and you can flip over your life, you can play out a lot of things using this. can play out a Gorgon Sisters, a Ran, a Zoro, and also a Borsalino. So this card is really good, and it's a must-have at 4. It's pretty much a staple for Boa. It doesn't see much play in any other deck apart from Nami, but it's still a very good card. And then we play 4 of 5 cost Eb04 borsalino. So this is honestly like the best blocker in yellow right now, mainly because of what it does. On play, if you've got 2 less life, add 1 life to top of your life cards. It's pretty good. Like before the ban list, this was paired with Rayquaza, but Rayquaza got banned because it was getting abused to hell. But this is a must-have at 4 in pretty much most yellow decks, so it's pretty much a staple. And then we play 4 of Shakuyaku, which is a standard 2k for the deck, and its on-play effect is really good. It can filter our hand, and it's just a very good 2k to have. You never play this using Don, you always play off the trigger, so pretty standard. And then we play 4 of Gorgon Sisters, which is another staple. This is arguably the best card in the deck, especially if you happen to have 3 Kuja Pirates or Amazon Lily cards in your hand. This can give Dawn to all your characters if you have 3 Kuja Pirates or Amazon Lily cards in your hand. So ideally we start this on our life using Hiyori or Gloriosa. It's one of the best triggers in the deck, and its effect is really strong as well, especially if you've got 1 or 2 on the field. So that's pretty much the standard for this deck. Kind of glad it's actually leader locked compared to the rest of yellow. And then we play 3 of Kuma. So this was ran at 4 before, but because of the new yellow cards, 4 is not really needed anymore. On play, you trash 1 card, you gain a life. On KO, you gain a life. It's a pretty good yellow card. It doesn't see much play out of Boa, but it's still a very good card, especially with the cost as well. Because it has high cost, it actually becomes harder to remove, because Gravity Blade is still being used a lot, so this pretty much ignores Gravity Blade. But it's pretty much a staple for Boa, so I only run 3 now. Now, I've added a new card to this deck. Now I now play 2 of 6 cost Blue Boa. So this card has been seeing a lot of play recently, mainly because it is very good against NL. So on play, up to 1 of your opponent's characters other than Monkey D. Luffy cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then place up to 1 character with cost 1 or less at the bottom of the deck. So this is really good for stunning NL because you stop their 6 cost and then you pretty much bounce their 1 cost. So most decks now, mainly blue decks, now run this because it counters NL. But there are other options, like you can replace this with the 5 cost Rush Yellow Luffy for Op15, but it really depends on your locals really. At my locals, not many people play it now, so but I put this in here mainly because I don't have the 5 cost Luffy yet. I'm currently waiting for it to be delivered. So yeah, 2 off this Boa. And then we play 4 of 9 cost Boa, which is a staple for this deck. So pretty much, if your leader is a 7 Warlords type, you add 1 card of your life and your opponent takes 1. And its trigger play up to one character with 6,000 power or less. So yeah, very good card, pretty much a staple, and it sees play in Moria, and also it's seen play in Black Yellow Teach, which comes out in the next set. So people will be looking for these. I myself won't be playing Yellow Black Teach, but I'll be playing Black Yamato for that set. But yeah, 4 of this bow is pretty much standard. Then we play 1 of Slave Arrow, which again, standard. You may return one of your characters with a cost 2 or more, then up to one of your leader characters to gain 4,000 power during this battle. This is pretty much really good to get Hiyori back into hand, but be very careful when you're using events, because if anyone is playing the Rush Luffy, that Luffy will gain power depending on what's on the top of the opponent's life cards. So you got to be very careful when you use this, especially if you're playing against a Sky Luffy. Other than that, it's pretty good card and it's pretty much needed. But we're going to play 1 because you only need 1. And then we play 2 of Gravity Blade. This is pretty much standard for Boa. Easy removal from most decks. Very good for the mirror match as well. But it can be decent into Sky Luffy because it will force them to take a life. Or they will decide not to take the life and let them get bounced. It's decent into it now. You can bounce their blockers and also their 1 and 2 costs. It just won't affect the 6 costs now. And also this got a very good trigger as well. If you're playing a Sky Luffy and they've got 0 life, if you get this trigger when that Sky Luffy attacks, this will bounce it. So this can be really good if you get the trigger, but it really depends on what deck you played against. Like, it's good against into Lucy, Sky Luffy. It's alright into her now. It's probably the best for the mirror though, but lately in my locals there hasn't been many Boas. But yeah, 2 of Gravity Blade. And then for the final card of the deck, we play 2 of Perfume Femur. Pretty much standard. This is our game ender. And since the ban list, we've lost Charlotte Pudding. So going for lethal with this has become a bit harder, especially into decks like Lucy, Ace and Emu, which technically have a lot of cards in hand. So it has become a bit harder, but 2 of this is always perfect. You will see it if you get it on your life, quite good. You can use the trigger to draw 1 card, but ideally you want to save it for going for game, because you can still go 20,000 with your 9 cost Boa. But it's pretty much a staple for Boa, staple for maybe Jinbei if they still play it, but it's still a generic good card, and this has won me so many games as well, so I always win it too. So yeah, this is my updated list for Boa in Op15 format, and it is still one of my best decks. But now I will be focusing on other decks, since I'm still trying to get Sky Luffy built. And I've also updated my Shanks deck, my Emu deck, and my Doflamingo deck. So I'll be focusing on them next. And for Op16, I will be building Black Yamato, which is a deck that I am looking forward to. So thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.